Alright, so the video is rolling. Oh, I know. It's a lot of moving pieces here that sometimes I can't even take care of. San Diego's Jazz 88.3 and music there from the new disc of Bernard Scavella. A Taste of Scavella is the name of the new release. The tune that we were listening to on that was Joe Henderson's Serenity, or actually Serenity for Joe Henderson, written by and composed and arranged by Bernard Scavella, the tenor saxophonist, Charlie Johnson on piano, Chuck Webb on bass, Robert Shai on the drums. The new release, A Taste of Scavella. In front of that, music from Sue Terry, live at the Deer Head Inn. Sweet Sue Terry on clarinet, soprano, and percussion. Vic Juris on guitars. Tony Marino on the bass. Bill Goodwin on drums. And Ron Thomas also joining in on piano on this new one, live at the Deer Head Inn, one of that great series of discs. And we started that set off with music from the featured artist tomorrow night here at Jazz Live San Diego. Euphoria Brass Band is going to be in. Sue Palmer is sitting in. Leonard Patton is also going to be doing some of his work with the Euphoria tomorrow night. It all kicks off at 8 o'clock at the Seville Theater at City College. You can reserve tickets online and by calling. Information is out at jazz88.org. If you can't make it down here, then make sure you tune in for an awesome show featuring a live concert, a interview, and then a preview of next month's Jazz Live show with Joe Garrison and Night People coming into town. So, well, not actually coming into town. They're actually already here in town, and we're going to be featuring them at Jazz Live San Diego. So that's all coming up tomorrow night, and Euphoria Brass Band featured there. And we're here tonight on the New Jazz Things. Thanks for tuning in with us. And joining us live in studio is Joshua White. Joshua plays this Friday with Polyphase. We're going to figure all of the plus signs out and the and signs out and the with signs out. But Joshua White joins us tonight here on the New Jazz Thing. Joshua, thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey Vince, thank you for having me here tonight. Yeah.
So the gig is at the Loft on Friday night. What time do you guys kick off?
We're this Friday at the Loft, February 13th, 8 p.m. is the kickoff time.
And it's a gig that also features some special guests, too, so you guys aren't the only ones on the bill.
Yeah, opening for us that evening will be Stevie and the High Stacks, and then we'll be closing out that evening with my band Polyphase with special guest Jeff Parker on guitar and San Diego's own Rebecca Jade on vocals.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about this. The promo was that it's Joshua White Electronic. So tell us a little bit about Joshua White. Is it plus Polyphase or and Polyphase? Or tell us a little bit about how this is all together.
Well, really, initially when we came together, the band really didn't have a name, but the core of the group is myself on Rhodes, Steve McKinney on bass, electric bass, and Greg McKinney on drums. And the genesis of the band is we would just come together at different times, over the years and just play and improvise and, just see what we could come up with together. And then the impetus for this whole group came when I was asked to perform at last year's 2014 San Diego Music Awards. And I just wanted to capture a certain energy, being that it's at Humphreys on that big stage and that big venue. I wanted to capture have a combination of players that would be able to capture a certain type of energy, and I felt, as opposed to doing on piano, I thought, Rhodes might be a better, fit. So if I'm going to be on Rhodes, then I thought it would be good to try with this group featuring Steve and Greg.
So then the music that you guys are doing, are these all original compositions of yours? The band coming together with compositions? What about the repertoire that you guys are playing?
Well, actually, the music that we play is largely, if not fully, all improvised music. You know, and that's really what I wanted to explore with these players, because they're such great listeners and they can adapt at any given time, or you know, adjust at any given moment. So I just wanted to see what we could do in that type of context, but with the caveat of having them feel like, you know, written out compositions and arrangements. You know, so we may reference different things at any time, and they may sound, you know, already written, but a lot of times it's just improvised in the moment.
We're chatting tonight with Joshua White. He and the band Polyphase are going to be playing at the Loft at UCSD this coming Friday. It all kicks off at 8 o'clock. There's links out on the jazz88.org blog right now to tonight's New Jazz Thing show, which has some links out to the Loft. There's a special guest, as you were talking about, Rebecca Jade, and then guitarist that are joining you. Tell us how they fit into to what you guys are going to be doing.
Well, at the San Diego Music Awards, I had a guest, Curtis Taylor, on trumpet, who was really great to collaborate with, especially in that context, because he added a different type of flavor. But for this concert, I thought it would be good to collaborate once again with a friend of mine, a guitarist now based in Los Angeles, but from Chicago, Jeff Parker, who is in the wildly popular band Tortoise, as well as currently touring now with the Joey DiFrancesco Trio. You know, but I thought this would be a good venue for us to reconnect, because we first connected with Ambrose Akamusteri's band at the Blue Whale a couple of years ago, and we had a few dates there. And I really wanted to, you know, collaborate with him again, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity.
And then adding vocals to the mix, that's a kind of a whole different thing. So how does Rebecca Jade fit in?
Well, I mean, Rebecca and I have collaborated over the years a few times, and I've always, you know, admired what she does and like her musicianship, and I just felt like she would be another great element in which to add, and just to see what happens, you know, when we mix these sort of elements that, you know, incorporate hip hop as well as R&B as well as, you know, jazz and improvised music, you know, and. Yeah.
So then, on from her side, does she improvise vocal words, wordless, or how does that fit?
Well, I don't want to give everything away, so it would be great if everybody just came out this Friday, February 13th at the Loft, 8 p.m., and you can see how we tie everything together.
Excellent, great. Okay, so then I have to ask the question before we head out and hear a tune that you picked out. We talked, I don't know, a year ago maybe, about Joshua White release. So give us where that is.
Well, I mean, it's still in the it's still in the planning stage. I mean, right now, like it's always in my mind, but recording is it takes so many resources that, you know, it's coming, but right now I'm focusing on just playing as much as possible.
Right.
And you will be the first to know when I head into the recording studio, and when everything gets recorded, I will be texting you, and you will have first dibs. Promise.
And I can't even imagine what that disc is going to be like, with the different ensembles you play with and all the different things, and how one disc is going to encompass that. And I'm sure it's not. So, give folks one more time the details on the Friday show.
Yes, okay, so this is Joshua White, and I will be performing this Friday with my band Polyphase, February 13th, 8 p.m. at the Loft on the campus of UCSD, featuring Steve McKinney, Greg McKinney, Jeff Parker on guitar, Rebecca Jade on vocals, as well as opening for us that evening will be Stevie and the High Stacks.
Excellent. And as I said, there's links to information on the Loft site out at jazz88.org's blog, so jazz88.org/blog. So since this, along with you, aren't recorded anywhere, we've got something else picked out. And I sent you into the new section of the Jazz 88 Music Library, and you pulled out the Hamburg 72 disc that is a new issue of Keith Jarrett, Charlie Hayden, and Paul Motion. And the tune that we picked out was Piece for Ornette. But you picked this out, so tell me why.
Well, the reason why I picked out that trio in particular is because I would say we're not necessarily referencing anything that they did as a core unit, but just their spirit of improvisation and freedom, you know, in which they were able to navigate all these compositions in the terrain, you know, creatively, is a major influence on me, especially that group, which I would say is probably one of my favorite piano trios ever.
Excellent. And tell folks where they can find out more information about you and everything else you got going on.
Oh yeah, you can definitely find more information about me and my calendar, where I am, and social media links at my website, joshuawhitemusic.com, and I'm also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything. Hit me up.
Excellent. Great. So Joshua, thanks for jumping in and hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for the pick for the music, too. And look forward to hearing you and hearing about the date this Friday at Loft at UCSD.
All right, thank you, Vince.
From Hamburg 72, Keith Jarrett, Charlie Hayden, Paul Motion, this is Piece for Ornette on the New Jazz Thing, San Diego's Jazz 88.3. There we go. You are all done. Thanks, man.
That was fun.